Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CEO Growth Talks. I'm Pete Hayes, your host, and I'm a principal at Chief Outsiders. It's my pleasure to welcome Tom Cassara today from Agilis. He's the CEO, and Agilis is a financial services company. He's going to let us know right now about the kinds of products and services that they bring to market for their clients. So, Tom, tell us a little bit about Agilis.
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to speak with you, Pete. So, Agilis, we are a consulting firm that focuses on risk management in terms of actuarial and investments. And we work with institutional organizations that could be helping them manage various different pools of assets that they have through defined benefit, defined contribution, insurance pools, endowments, et cetera.
Okay, so who's a really good target for you? Who are you really trying to reach? Size of companies, certain industries?
Size of companies, industries, we're pretty open to just about any industry. Most of our clients today are on the corporate side, but that's not to suggest that's our solely focus. We have wonderful clients that are publicly held as well. But our clients tend to be a mid-sized to larger organization today that has probably in the hands of 500 or more employees, but probably most importantly, managing pools of assets that are 10 million or higher for various purposes.
Okay. I think it's interesting to note, I would consider you a growth company. You guys are growing pretty
Yeah.
well in a market that some people might say is tough.
We've been very blessed. We have some wonderful people. This is a people business, and they've been fantastic about having great client relationships and those clients also helping us in our growth as well.
Okay, we're going to talk some more about that. But the formation of Agilis, tell us about it, because the firm Agilis is really only a couple of years old. But tell us
Right. We
about
just hit our 2-year birthday. Prior to that, the organization itself has probably been in existence since the early 2000s. It started as a UK organization and over the years went through different name changes, most recently being River Mercantile. But back in a little over 2 years ago, River Mercantile made the decision to focus on a different core business for them, which was asset management. And they wished to sell off or stop in the consulting aspects of it. In the US, we were by and large a consulting firm. And so they approached about doing a management buyout for the US business, of which we gladly accepted the opportunity. So that was about 2 years ago, and we rebranded as Agilis at that point.
Okay, and you took on the CEO role.
I did.
How did that come about?
I was overseeing the US consulting business prior to that. Maybe it was just the team wanted to focus on clients, and I was the guy left on running the business as well as the clients. I love to say it was some magical event.
Tell me a little bit more about that. So you've been essentially a practitioner working with clients, and you still are. Okay, I know you have to run the organization, but what kind of changes did you have to go through to be prepared to do that?
There was the changes overseeing the business, which prior to that as a division, there was a lot of things you didn't worry about. You didn't worry about things such as IT. There was a IT group. You didn't worry about marketing. You didn't worry about very legal aspects and accounting. And all of a sudden now we had to manage all those processes as well as to make sure we had proper consultants who can help advise us on ourselves. So it really became a team effort. And I think one of the biggest learnings I had through that process was you have really good people, and we just had to lean on our people to say, okay, somebody had to be CFO. Somebody has to be in charge of marketing. Somebody has to be in charge of this aspect or that aspect, and to start delegating a lot of that and having an agreement. Okay, this is what we're trying to achieve. This is where we're trying to go. Let's all work together and do that. We've been very fortunate.
Wow. Tell me, in terms of your own enjoyment of the work, have there been things as the CEO that maybe have even surprised you in terms of the satisfaction that you get out of it?
Oh, there definitely has been. I'm just incredibly proud of the growth that we've achieved. I mean, to think about here's this relatively small organization trying to compete with some Fortune 500 organizations in the space. And we had a number of successes over the years that proved that we could compete at that level. And it's a matter of, I call it shoe leather. It's a matter of hitting the road and constantly trying to expand your brand to allow other organizations to see the talent that's within the organization.
It's clear you're in a people business. It's kind of an obvious thing to say, oh, well, it starts with really, really great people. But how have you attracted them and kept them?
We try to create an atmosphere where senior consultants that through the industry that we've all gotten to know over the years would find attractive to come and work and hang a shingle under your roof, right? So we've tried hard to create an atmosphere where we're allowing our senior team to have the freedom to do idea generation and really to speak with their clients, understand the issues that their clients are having, and then to have a group of people that could come back to say, what's the best way of approaching or solving problem A or problem B? We're not about trying to develop a particular solution and then telling people why they have a problem, that they need that solution. We're more the opposite. We would really want to go back to old school of listening first and understanding what the problem is, and then having the freedom to think about what is the proper solution without somebody telling us, you need to sell 100 of these or you need to sell 50 of these. We don't put those kinds of constraints on our people. We tell people your job is to have great client experiences and then obviously to try to grow your client base.
So it sounds like your offerings are pretty flexible and you give a lot of flexibility to your people to help
Yep.
assemble those solutions. Have there been any trends or shifts in the kinds of offerings that you've pivoted to or that's helped with your growth?
I would say there hasn't been a major shift. Obviously, the economy, we have to react to what the economy is doing and what the economy is bringing in terms of positioning client portfolios. We tend to do things with probably more tools in our toolbox than maybe some other consultants, and that has picked up some additional clients because they realize we're familiar with tools such as using derivatives, for example, in managing a portfolio that many other consultants haven't been as comfortable or knowledgeable in using. And so we picked up a number of wonderful assignments through that expertise. But I think what's really helped us most is just being just open to new ideas and new things. I'm trying to meet where clients' needs are and not being in a way of where I'm going to offer this, we're only going to offer that in order to increase our own operating efficiencies.
Wow. Okay. So great people, a very flexible approach to solving the problems. And I think there was one more thing that you said was a very key to your growth, maybe even your secret, because you are growing, you're bringing on new clients. And what else is there?
What else is there? The things that have worked best for us, asking clients for a referral. It sounds very simple. In fact, I think the insurance industry has had mastered that over the years. But in our space, doing a little homework to know which clients are connected with whom, which is these day and age is much easier than it was 10, 20 years ago. And being very open and saying, we're a growing business. We're relatively new in this space in terms of the Agilis history, at least. And saying, would you be so open and so kind as to calling this organization? We have some ideas that we think can help them, but we would love if you could open that door for us. And what we found is almost 100% of the time, people will be willing to do that if you develop that relationship properly and that you've earned their trust, which is obviously our goal.
So there's the notion of asking for a referral, which seems pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
What you described, the conditions for that were a relationship that's now a trustworthy relationship. And you mentioned doing some work because you're not just saying, may I have a referral, but you're actually suggesting who the referral might be to.
Correct. I find it best that the more succinct and exact you are in that ask, the easier it is to make it for that individual to actually accomplish it. So it's been a very good tool for us in terms of that, but it's all about the client's also willing to do it and the fact that we earn that from them.
Yeah, you definitely have to earn it.
It doesn't come freely.
Can be no or not yet. And so you're very deliberate with that. That's great. I know you haven't been all that long in the seat of the CEO.
No.
You've been a leader in your industry for some time. How would you describe your leadership style? What is Tom Cassara's leadership style?
Well, that would be a more interesting question to ask the people that work with me. So I'm sure you'll get a lot of interesting answers over my career. I firmly believe that if you hire good people, you should allow them the flexibility to be good people and to be good leaders. I've always tried to hire people around us that are bright, hardworking, energetic, and then not get in the way. I find too many leaders in my past thought they were maybe the smartest person in the room or that their way was the right way. And that may have been true, Maybe they were the smartest person or they had a good way of doing it, but they were missing the point of having people believe in themselves and having people believe in what you're trying to accomplish and allowing them the flexibility and the runway to do it. I think that's been the most powerful. So people enjoy the atmosphere or they get to be part of the decision.
So you're describing a leadership style that I think is fostering a culture of flexibility. It feels like a little bit of independence, trust. You're trusting the people to make the decisions.
Independence. I mean, it's all those words: independence, trust, teamwork. Even from creating reward systems are more team oriented than they are individual oriented. Any personal rewards that as for senior leader bonuses, et cetera, more team based than not. Obviously, you have to reflect individual accomplishments. We really try hard to say we're a team. It's easier with our size than it is maybe if we were 1,000 people, but at our size, working as a team towards a common goal is great. Once again, going back to what we want to be as an organization, which is creative, think tank, new ideas. Working as a team is going to be a much better outcome than someone going on their own. They're going to be much better saying, I got this situation. Have you seen this before? Let's talk about how best to solve it. And getting 4 people's opinions is much better than 1.
Wow. Okay. So this has been a working formula for you and Agilis. Congratulations. Had there been any moments either before the MBO or since that were maybe aha moments of we've learned this, now we're going to be able to take it forward? Any particular?
Sure. One of the biggest things getting used to is decision making. Decision making is obviously always critical in running a business, and everybody goes about it a little bit differently. But I think what we really learn quickly is one of the downsides of wanting to be a think tank, wanting to be creative and idea generating. Sometimes you think a little too long before you make a decision.
Mm.
And trying to reach a balance where it was more about, guys, we need to make a decision. What we quickly realized is sometimes not making a decision was the worst decision.
Wow.
And so either you make one quick and you live with the results. Sometimes you might get it wrong. But in hindsight, by delaying a decision, sometimes that might have been the worst outcome. There's a general speed and amount of analysis you need to do, but you got to be relatively faster than perhaps maybe your DNA would want to be. So,
Tom, I don't know if you realize that you're outlining a book with this talk on. So what's next?
what's next is obviously we joke about where we want to go as a growth. We have a lot of different things that we want to accomplish, and some of them are far outrageous. But what's next for us is continuing down our path of looking to grow. We're looking to obviously expand and hire additional senior leaders who then generate obviously more opportunities for our middle and newer staff, and allow us the ability to hire more of that staff as well. We're looking to make a name for ourselves in this business and be considered on the same level as the other large consulting firms, albeit not with the same size at this point. And if the opportunity comes about to have additional partners helping us with that, then those will be outcomes. But right now we're very happy about going down this path and seeing where it goes and expanding, but sticking to our formula of creativity and teamwork.
Everybody listening to this is very impressed that you've taken a brand and you're making a name for yourself. Maybe as more of a boutique player, but you're growing, you're adding people, you're giving them the flexibility that everybody looks for as a senior advisor or consultant in any industry that does that, and providing that environment. So congratulations, Tom.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for joining us at CEO Growth Talks, and we're going to see you next time. Thanks to my guest, Tom Cassara. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.